Welcome in. Good afternoon. It's the Ticket Punchers here on 96.1 FM, 1450 AM, Big X Sports Radio. I'm your host, Roman Kelly, joined today by my co-host, Curtis Phillips, a.k.a. Philly Picks, as we take you guys down until 6 o'clock, per usual, here on the Big X, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Curtis, there's a lot we're going to be getting into. There's a lot we're going to be chatting about. We're going to be getting in on the Game Day Men's Health text line as well here today at 502-414-1450. If you guys have any thoughts, any punches, any bets, any games that you want us to go over tonight, send those in. We'll get those addressed as soon as we receive them. But before we do that, Curtis, I want to ask you, how's the day going? How's the evening last night? How were the punches?
Going good, Roman. And as far as the punches go, we go 1-2. Can you hear me all right?
Yep, can hear you great.
Okay, sorry about that. Just getting a call there. But yeah, we go 1-2 on the punches. Kennesaw State, Georgia Southern finished short of the under that we had. Kobe White also finished just short of that under. And then we had Anthony Edwards over his 28.5 points, which went over. So we go 1-2. Looking to have a little bounce back day today. How you guys doing?
Doing all right. Nothing too crazy last night happening in the realm of my life. Other than the 0-for-3 night that we gave out in my official punches, first 0-for of February. We have been on a pretty good roll of not having any losing bets like that. But bad beats, a couple last night. Lakers just completely let those Magic get back into the game. I mean, I don't know if you watched the fourth quarter of that Bucks Heat game. They let Kevin Porter Jr. have his way there. They went on a crazy, crazy run to end that game. And then Derek Queen, 7 rebounds, hit with the hook there, got us on the hook. So we go 0-for-3 on our officials last night. JR, how are you today, sir? How was the evening last night, and how are the punchers doing?
I'm doing good. Sorry, I'm at Starbucks. Hopefully this background music isn't too loud for you.
Shouldn't be all too bad. Might need you to mute when you're not talking, but you sound good.
Yeah.
How did the punchers do?
Yeah, overall good. You know, I put out the long list of plays yesterday. The only one that surprised me was the OKC game, which we kind of called out, them winning. Other than that, everything else, pretty much covered. It was only 2 legs that missed on that entire sheet that I put out yesterday. I haven't got a chance to fully recap it, but I know we had about 5 or 6 winners and like 2 losses on there. So overall,
not a bad night. Not a bad night at all. Fellas, I want to look into what we've got going tonight as well. And then, of course, obviously, whatever we get in on the Game Day Men's Health text line. Before we start talking about bets and punches, there's just a little bit of NBA news I want to go over. I want to get your all's opinions on it, see where your all's head's at with this. We get word last night that James Harden fractured his right thumb in their victory against the Knicks last night. It's his right thumb. He's a lefty. He's a shooter. But he's also a playmaker. He has the ball in his hands a lot. I haven't looked into the amount of time that he's projected to maybe miss from this. Does this worry you, Philly? We'll start with you about the Knicks and their handful of games they've got coming up. I'm sorry, not the Knicks, the Cavaliers. And, the adjustments we've seen from James Harden being added to that team with Jared Allen, even Donovan Mitchell getting a lot more efficient looks as well, playing that off-guard spot. You're getting Jalen Tyson back to the bench. He comes in and gets to be that energy spark. But kind of was all centered around the differences that James Harden brought to the team. Should the Cavs and Cavs fans be worried, Philly?
No, I don't think at all. As long as he's healthy for the playoffs, then I don't think that will be too much a concern. Just a guy that obviously they played without for the last few years. They've only had him a few weeks. So if it's not a long-term injury, I don't think this is something that the Cavs should be worried about. I saw that he's a game-time decision tonight, so I'm not sure if he'll be playing with a brace maybe or what the case may be there. But yeah, if he's fine for the playoffs, I don't see this being them dropping too much in the East. I think they'll still be able to compete and win games with the lineup that they have still. So,
what's the timetable for him to return?
I haven't gotten to do any research. I learned about this while we were live today, so I haven't gotten to do any deep dig on it. I didn't know that he was out. I mean, that he was going to be a potential game time decision. I can't imagine he'll play on a back-to-back with a freshly broken finger, though, right?
Yeah, maybe not. I just saw he's not ruled out as of yet, though, or at least the last time I checked, which was probably about an hour ago. So
Justin Shams Karanya says about an hour ago, after hand specialist evaluation, Cavalier star James Harden plans to play through his fractured right thumb. So basically, because this is a right thumb situation, he will be playing still. I mean, it's the thumb is made up of two phalanges. Harden's break involves the distal phalanx tip of the thumb and is non-displaced. This is the best case scenario for a quick return. Players to suffer this injury and avoid surgery miss an average of 6.5 games, roughly about 15 to 17 days when they've seen this injury in the NBA in the past. Here is one thing we know about James Harden, though, fellas, is that he's one of the toughest guards in the NBA. Kind of weird how his career trajectory has gone the way it is for a player that has the mentality he does. I want to play. I want to hoop. I want to play hard every time I'm out on the floor. Maybe not always defensively, but he doesn't miss time from injuries if it's not something major. So I'm not surprised to see that he will be playing through this, but was already like the second best shooter on the team. There's when you out of your starters, Sam Merrill, now some of these other guys you're going to have to maybe bring in to continue to have that shooting if James Harden does have a bit of a slump with shooting the ball with that injury. So interested to see how that kind of unfolds. I would expect him to play through it, but we'll see if he plays tonight and how many games he does play going forward, just dealing with that kind of an injury. If you don't get surgery on it, it will obviously kind of takes longer to heal. Not the timetable of being out. Surgery obviously will take you completely out, but not going to be 100% in his right hand. For a point guard, that's kind of critical. Wanted to see where you guys kind of thought about that. JR, I want to ask you something next. We'll get Philly's opinion on this. How do you feel about Tony Bennett being a Laker? Finally, we've made a move to get Rob Pelinka not making every decision for every young player or every free agent we bring in here. There's now going to be another evaluator of talent there alongside him. When you look at some of the draft picks that the Lakers have had recently, we knew something was due to change. Rob was not making the correct decisions by himself. What do we think of Tony Bennett being a part of the drafting and the front office work now?
Do you think he's going to replace Pelinka?
I feel like this is the phase one of that. This is phase one of let's go GMs. Let's see if we can get Pelinka in now underneath Rob. In a year or two, let's make him 50-50, and then let's see if we can push Rob up is what it's really going to be. They're not going to ever get rid of Rob Pelinka. They're going to get him up into a presidential type of a role, assistant president that doesn't actually make any decisions. He's just the face of the Lakers out in public more so than anything else.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I love it. I don't know Tony Bennett's, pro view on, certain prospects, but I mean, he's won national championships.
He's got players in the NBA right now that played for him. You look at what those Virginia teams did. I mean, DeAndre Hunter, he developed players even too at Virginia and got them in. Yep. DeAndre Hunter, I don't believe, went into Virginia as a freshman with a lot of NBA prospects compared to what he did when he finished his sophomore season. Then it was, we know that he's the best defender in the draft kind of a player. So if you're going and getting young athletes and trying to see who has what to their game, I like it. But I wonder if it's more so just kind of a move to maybe shake things up with just how important Rob Pelinka is.
I think Rob is Jeannie's guy, and Rob was Kobe's guy. And I think this is the first move under the new ownership. I forget the Dodgers' name. Whatever his name is, but this is the first pawn, on outside of the recent trades.
The bus movements.
This, in my opinion, I think he could replace Rob, and I don't think Rob is executed. I think the Luka Doncic thing kind of landed him, or kind of bought him some time. But other than that, I mean, he hasn't really done too much.
Curtis, what do you think of this? Tony Bennett, ex-Virginia coach, championship-winning coach, has a handful of players drafted in the NBA in the last 10 years. Good move for the Lakers?
Yeah, I'd say it's not a bad move when you have a basketball mind like Tony Bennett. Obviously, at the college level, what he did at Virginia was pretty spectacular, won a national championship there. So even though he hasn't proven anything in the NBA, I'm always a fan of bringing a good basketball mind, whether he's proven himself at that stage or not, to come and try to help your team out. So I'm not mad at that decision.
Yeah, there's only one way to get that start. You got to go and get the positions that they offer to you. JR mentioned that it could be a move potentially to get Rob out and get somebody like Tony Bennett, somebody that the ownership wanted in more of that decision-making role, especially when it comes to young players. I think that that's definitely a route here. I also wonder if we see Tony Bennett on the bench next season, with the Lakers quarter zip on, and he's out there pointing out defensive things that they need to do better. I get he has in a very unorthodox defensive philosophy that was centered around having limitations with college players, right? This is different. He knows what is the best of the best from a defender and from an offensive standpoint. He was really good with guards as well. I'd like to see him, working with some of the young talent that we do eventually bring in, if we ever do bring in the end. But I think it's a good move overall for the Lakers. Fellas, I want to kind of transition a bit and look into the night of sports because obviously the NBA is ramping up. I've emphasized the last about month how this is the time of the season where everything starts shifting, clicks into gear for the good teams and stuff. I say that good teams will still win in February, beginning of March. We've seen it, but we've also seen in the last couple of years those contending teams. They typically start going on those runs late January. You look at the championship teams in the last 5 years, what they looked like at this point in the season. It was all business. So I'm ready to see what teams kind of feel like. I'm ready to see what teams really start turning that switch on and make it about being all business. I want to ask you guys before we look into this overall bets and picks here. Any teams in the NBA right now that you feel like are trending the positive direction and or maybe are in a spot to potentially slip up into the standings, or if there's a team in the standings in that top 60, you're like, hey, I don't know about them. There's room for them to move out and for these playoffs to get super interesting, if not just the play-in game. Philly, what do you think?
Yeah, I listened to a little bit of you all's show earlier, Roman, on the In and Out show with you and Gliz, and I liked a lot of the points that you all made. I think Spurs can make a run at getting the 1 seed, but ultimately I do think OKC keeps that 1 seed. They've still been playing good, even without their best 2 players. But Spurs have been definitely trending in the right direction. I think they're north of a 10-game win streak at the moment. And then I like the point that Gliz made. I think Clippers can definitely get into a play-in spot. Ben Matherin's been playing excellent for them off the bench. And their defense is pretty underrated in my opinion. And with Kawhi leading the helm, I think the sky's the limit for this Clippers team, not only this year, but for years to come. So those are 2 teams that pop out instantly. And then obviously, y'all know I'm big on the Cavs this year. Like we just mentioned, even with the Harden injury, I think Cavs can get that 2 seed in the East, jump over the Knicks, which they did last night, and then I think they can take over the Celtics as well, although the Celtics have been playing some real good ball as of late as well. But, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, though, to see the Cavs jump up.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. I was going to say the same. I was going to say the Cavs post James Harden trade. I mean, you got Cavs, Knicks, and Celtics all sitting within 1 game of each other, 38, 37, 37 wins. And that's just the Eastern Conference. I think watching those 3 teams battle it out will be very interesting. I'm starting to get a lot of rumors that Jason Tatum's ramping up. So I do think that if they can go into the Eastern Conference playoffs as, a top 2 seed, I do think there's a strong chance that he could come back in some capacity, maybe off of a, minutes restriction, come off the bench type of thing, just to not risk it. But out of the West, I definitely think the Spurs are going to make a run. I think OKC is starting to show a little bit of vulnerability with all these injuries. I don't see it slowing down at the moment with Williams and Chad and everybody getting banged up week in and week out. I think the Spurs, with them being 4 games behind, are sitting in a good spot to take the number 1 seed in the West and make a run for it.
Yeah, with the guard play that you're getting out of the Spurs right now, and Castle, Fox, Harper.
And the one thing that I loved was it Castle or Vassell? It was Castle locking up Cade Cunningham.
Yeah.
I have not seen Cade Cunningham get locked up like that ever. And the way that he took that matchup personal showed me that these boys are ready to make
he held him to 5 for 26 shooting from the floor, I believe, in that game. He was outstanding defensively for the Spurs and has been all season long. I know that a lot of numbers when you look at like a guard for when the defensive player of the year is behind you, a lot of numbers can get a little inflated. It's easier to like, how many of those possessions did he just lead Cade into Wemby, right? And a tough shot, but
Right.
that's on him. That's him not giving up that space out on the perimeter and forcing him into a tough spot. And the Spurs defensively, I think, is what elevates them. When they get that level of defense from everybody and you get that same level of defensive intensity from your bench players, the Spurs are the best defensive team in the league.
Yeah. Keldon Johnson, 6th man of the year.
It'd be cool to see. I think it'll be cool to see.
He's up there.
He's definitely up there. Fellas, we missed the triple punch by one play. Cavs money line hit. Jared Allen 9+ rebounds hit, or the over 8.5. And we had Tyler Hero. We took the over 16.5 points.
Bad shooting night. That's all it was.
He had all the shots, and it's every time I take a Hero prop, and I get this is triple punch, and this was, I believe, JR's. We mutually all agreed on Hero for this prop. Every time he doesn't hit, he does have the volume. It's not like he just foul trouble. It's like he does have. It's like a bad shooting night, and not any other circumstance for when he doesn't hit. I mean, something to do with that starting lineup. He kind of comes.
He didn't start. He came off the bench. Yeah,
he comes in off the bench and he's allowed to play. He's allowed to shoot any shot he wants. I think that starting lineup being in allows him to be the spark plug off the bench. So he throws up a lot of shots. But the Heat just played terribly in the second half. I mean,
5 of 17 is insane.
Yeah, it's bad.
He was right. Yeah, I mean, how many threes did he miss? He missed 6 threes?
3 of 9. Yeah.
So, and you missed that many 3-pointers. We were right there from
plus minus was minus 20.
Yeah, you shot under 30%. Like that can't happen.
Tough loss on the triple punch there to go 2 and 1.
Finish with 14 points. If he just makes 2 shots, we cover.
Yeah.
That's all it is. 1-3 and we cover.
Oh yeah, 1-3. Yeah.
All right, fellas. What are we looking into tonight? I want to ask you about college basketball first before we look into the NBA punches. MLB spring ball obviously on. I've seen all kinds of home runs being hit today. Philly, I'm not touching that spring ball. I learned my lesson last season betting on NBA or in MLB spring ball.
Never
made a little bit of money the first couple of days, and I thought I knew something, and I proceeded to not hit another bet of spring ball the rest of the preseason there. But a lot of college basketball action tonight. I have one official punch in college basketball, fellas. I'm going with Xavier plus 5.5. On the road, visiting Providence. They're, a team that's kind of been up and down all season long, but Providence has as well. And I think this is an Xavier side that's trying to start stringing some wins here. They've been terrible on the road, but Providence hasn't been that great at home. I think Xavier gets a win here or keeps this one close, fights for a win, maybe doesn't get it like they should. I think they're a better team than Providence, but they haven't won all the games against better teams this season. So I'm just going to take them to cover. I'm going to take those points if they're going to give me that many of them. Give me Xavier on the plus 5.5. What do you guys like in college tonight, if anything?
I like the UConn over St. John's minus 5.5. UConn being at home. I think they got enough firepower to cover the 6 points. So that was the only one that I loved. I was going to teeter-totter with the Florida and Texas game. I kind of feel like Texas might be able to cover that 8 point, but I didn't love it, so we're going to stay away from it and just stick with UConn minus 5.5.
I was looking at that Texas game as well, but I decided to stay away.
Only because they're at home, and they're not a bad team. They're 17-10. I think Florida coming in. I think that place is going to be packed out. It'll have a rowdy crowd, and it'll give them enough energy to sustain any type of run that they could possibly put up. But 8 points is just a lot of points in a game like that.
It is. Curtis?
But UConn for sure, minus 5.5.
I went with the St. John's plus 5.5 earlier, just when I got asked about the game. Matt picked that as his official punch. Every other person I've seen about this game is taking UConn, and they're taking UConn to cover. So I'm staying away. I leaned St. John's. No one I listened to has agreed with me. So I'm going to stay away from that one. We'll probably rock with JR. I think if anything, you take the UConn money line. If it's me on a parlay piece, that's probably what I would do. Outside of that, I'm going to probably just enjoy some good basketball. That is the best matchup for tonight. Curtis, what are you rocking with for the college realms tonight? I know you maybe have some baseball on the slate as well.
Yeah, nothing I'm loving in college basketball. I will be tuning that St. John's UConn game. Should be a great matchup in the Big East. I had a strong lean towards the Florida and Texas over. I know both of those teams play at a very fast pace. Florida kind of hitting their stride right now, 7 straight wins. So I was looking at their team total over as well. I believe it was at 83.5. But ultimately, I'm not going to touch anything. College baseball, I do have a play though for later.
What's that play?
It's going to be East Carolina and Charleston under the 13.5. This is a neutral site game, playing in a pitcher-friendly park. And both of these teams during the midweek have played a lot of lower-scoring games thus far, and the weekend games have been where they kind of get their offense rolling, and their pitching hasn't been as well on both sides. So I'm going to go under the 13.5 in East Carolina and Charleston.
I like it. We got a live bet in right now on the under 15.5 for the Troy Trojans and the Georgia Bulldogs. Troy up 5-. Well, Georgia just got back into it a little bit. Now down 5-4 to Troy. Now even up 5-5 there in the bottom of the 7th inning. So we'll see if that one's like it might get a little bit sweaty here.
I wanted to take that Troy plus 4.5 plus money. We've seen a lot of upsets in college baseball.
We have
today, and it's in the midweek every single week. So
because it's not the best pitchers.
It's not. So midweek is for overs for the main part and underdogs covering, and you can get some good plus money on underdogs to win during the midweek. So keep that in notice for you guys listening.
Saw some big spreads in some college baseball. Plus 5.5, plus 6.5. I mean, that's a crazy run line.
Yeah.
For a team, just because it's still two D1 teams. I get they're not conference or not even conferences that are close in some of these matchups, but
yeah, 6
runs in the beginning of a season when you have most of the pitchers are not in that real groove yet. I feel like some of those lines have been a bit misconstrued. I like that play though, Philly. Send that in. We'll rock with that as well. We'll get that tailed. If you guys have anything you want us to get into, send it in on the Game Day Men's text line. We do have a couple of texts coming in. Lazard guy sent in a play. He said Charlotte biggest play of the day. Small play on Maryland plus 17.5 as well. And he sends in a parlay, another 3-leg with a boost. He's got St. John's plus 5.5, Charlotte money line, and then Arkansas minus 7.5. This is a plus 588 with a boost, putting it up to plus 765. He's got $15 on this to win 130.
Was that Lazard guy?
Yeah.
Said. I think he only missed NC State yesterday, if I'm not mistaken.
He had NC State plus 5.5. Dayton won, so he covered that, and Missouri won, so he covered that. I wonder if he didn't get a cash out, I bet, just because NC State got smacked. But
yeah, good. So overall.
Lazar guy, I hope you played those Missouri and Dayton lines straight as well, because you made some money last night if you did. Shout out to Lazar guy, always tuning in to the Ticket Punchers and sending his plays, giving his thoughts to the show as well. PRTG texted into the show as well. Podcast Random Thoughts guy. I don't know if this was for our show, but we're going to read it. Hey, I don't know if PRTG tunes into our show that much, but it says PRTG here. Big game for the Stones tonight. Need to rebound after the loss Monday. I love this team, but I honestly think they need one more player that can switch a defense. Question is, there a 3-and-D player they could get that will there? Is there a 3-and-D player they could get with their 2 first-round picks? Harwell from Houston? I don't know. The big game for the Stones tonight? What does that mean, fellas? I'm blanking on what that means.
I can't think off the top of my head. You're
PRTG, send the details in on that. Need to rebound after the loss Monday. PRTG.
Is he talking about the Houston-Kansas game?
He's a Pistons fan.
Oh.
I know that. Need one more player that can stretch a defense. Question is, there a 3-and-D player that could – the Pistons, so he is talking about the Pistons. And it's funny that I feel like I said today on the In and Out show that I think the Pistons need another shooter.
Yeah, I heard you mention that.
Question is there a 3-and-D player they could get with their first 2 first-round picks? Harwell from Houston. No.
I don't – saying, okay.
I don't know if you'll be able to get Harwell.
You could play Sasser some more, maybe. I mean, it's a Houston guard that you have on your roster right there. Or is he traded?
I don't know.
I mean, they just picked up Kevin Hurt. I mean, I know it's not a defensive guy, but still a guy that can shoot that hasn't really played much since he's got to the Pistons.
Yeah. They do need a bounce back. They need a big win. They need to go on a couple of wins here if they don't want to. They want to ensure that they keep that top spot.
Mm-hmm.
They do need more shooting, though. I will say that.
I don't think there's an immediate fix for that during this season with the trade deadline already passed. I mean, looking at what they have currently,
Hey,
it doesn't.
Herder can knock down them shots. I think they could play Herder some
He
minutes.
can, but like Herder, the reason why Herder is getting ping ponged around the league is just because of the inconsistency. Like he gets the shot attempts, it's just he doesn't sink them all the time. In Sacramento, that was a big problem. He started out hot, and then he just fizzled out. Duncan Robinson, another one, former Heat guy. It's just like they can hit when they're going, but when they're not, they're not. The only role players that I see hitting consistently are the Cleveland Cavaliers with Merrill and the other guy that it doesn't matter what night you get them on, they're going to burn you up. But I would say
he's talking
the
about for next season. He's talking about for next season. The Harwell, that season, guard from Houston, the Cougars right now, the freshman. I think Harwell drops if he goes to the draft for sure.
I just don't see too many college players coming in and making an immediate impact. Like you can shoot all day, you can have a burner on you all day, but you got to realize like a starting five or even the immediate 7, 8, 9 player off the bench in the rotation, they're going to be, probably 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", and very good defensively for the most part. Like you're not just getting wide open shots like you were in college. Like the league is a different animal, man.
Who I would
come
like
in
to
and
see?
get your beak wet and to have an immediate impact is going to be hard. Con Knipple is a one-off in my opinion.
Yeah, that's those don't come very
often. He's a one-off. Yeah.
That Terrence Shannon Jr. kid out there from Minnesota, he fits the Pistons vibe perfectly, I think.
Nice.
I think
that
I could see that one day. I think that if they can find their hands, or just a player like that, young, still on their rookie deal, but can play, but not needed. Like you don't need them to start. You just need them to come in and give you a nice, productive 15 minutes a night. I think a Terrence Shannon Jr., that'd be a good pickup for them if they could grip their hands on that. Appreciate the text coming in there, Lazard guy and podcast Random Thoughts guy. We got about another minute or two before we get out of here. Fellas, any official punches for tonight in the NBA before we get into the show up today? Start with you, JR.
Yeah. Obviously, the Connecticut -5.5. I like Tim Hardaway, 2 + 3s. It's -192. It's a parlay piece. Jabari Smith, 2 + 3s, Reed Shepherd, 15 points. And my favorite is going to be Victor Wembanyama, 12+ rebounds going up against Toronto. I think he's going to dominate in this matchup. 2 previous games, 14 and 12 on the boards, -128. That's my official triple punch.
Love that. Curtis, what you got?
Yeah, none in the NBA, but I do have one NHL play, and I'm taking Jets and Canucks under 6.5 at -130. First game back from NHL. 2 of the 5 worst offensive teams in all of NHL, and they haven't played in 3 weeks. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, so that'll be an official punch for me.
I like it. Bucks on a back-to-back on last night's game, fellas. I kind of lean with on the Cavs money line tonight, especially if James Harden plays in that game. I get that Cavs played as well, but I lean Cavs in this one with them being fully healthy still if James Harden plays. One play that I do love tonight, fellas, though, an official, is the Nuggets -3.5 with the Celtics coming off of a back-to-back on their road trip. Yes, they got the victory over Phoenix, and they are 2-0 on this road trip, I believe. I don't think they extend that to 3-0 against the fresh legs of the Nuggets tonight. Yeah, there's still no Aaron Gordon, still no Peyton Watson. I still like this team offensively to go out there and get the job done over the Celtics. That's going to be my only official punch on a team prop. I did have a player prop, fellas, for tonight. We know what happens when KD goes up against Russell Westbrook. These two like to get going. They like to go after it. I like KD on the 25+ tonight to get back into the 25+ scoring realm, which he hasn't done as much here lately, but I think that he does that. He gets going early against this King side that, while they aren't good, they still can find ways to keep games close early enough to avoid those blowouts, and those stars do stay in those games against the Kings because it's only ever like down 10, down 15, cutting it back to 12. I like KD on the 25+ as my third official punch. This is going to wrap us up, though, on the radio side of things. Stay tuned. If you want to hear the triple punch parlay, we will be giving that out on YouTube and on X, where the stream continues after the radio. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you all so much for listening. Shout out to the podcast listeners as well. And fellas, let's go punch those tickets.
Punch the tickets.
Those tickets.
All right. JR, I missed what you said your triple punch piece was.
Wemby, 12 blocks.
What?
Wemby, 12 blocks, 12 rebounds.
I was going to say, huh?
12 blocks.
Hey, can you
What
imagine?
website are you betting that on?
Somebody got it. That's funny. 12 blocks. Make
All right,
Starbucks my
so I've got
coffee has
Xavier,
it.
Nuggets, Kevin Durant. And then for our triple punch today, we're going Wemby, 12 plus rebounds. Curtis, I know you got an NBA triple punch piece.
I was about to do I was going NBA. Same thing as last night. Jared Allen, 10 plus rebounds down at minus 180.
I like it. Give me Cade Cunningham tonight, fellas. I'm going to drop it all. We're going to go 21.5 points tonight for Cade. Or we'll make it 22.5. One below his line at 23.5. They're thinking it's going to be a good defensive matchup. It should, but I still like the matchups with who's going to be guarding him. They're going to get Dort squished off of him as much as possible, and they're going to let Cade go to work. I also just think that Dort's too aggressive of a defender compared to somebody like Castle. Castle's got that agility. He's the perfect kind of defender for a Cade Cunningham. I think Cade baits Dort all night and has a great bounce back spot here. Give me Cade Cunningham for the 22.5 points for the triple punch piece.
Let's do it.
So we're going Jared Allen, 10 plus rebounds.
Yeah.
Wemby, 12 plus rebounds. I feel like I should have went with that damn rebound prop, that rebound triple punch. But I'm rocking with the Cade Cunningham 22.5 points.
Yeah, my favorite play. My favorite play was Wemby 12 rebounds, KD 24.5 points, Jaylen Brown 28.5 points. If you do that on Prize Picks, they got a 6x multiplier, win 210.
I like it. Any other things you guys wanted to jab out there, fellas?
Good for me tonight.
Yeah.
Light day for me.
Yeah. I'm still waiting to see how everybody's gonna play, man. Teams are just weird right now,
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I called that OKC win yesterday. I know y'all saw that.
You did.
Yeah.
You did.
All right.
We both leaned.
Said they was gonna come out.
Raptors.
The Raps, right? Yeah.
Yep. It was. Let me go to that.
They're going by 9-7, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. The Heat lost. We took Hero 17.5. He had 14. Jared Allen covered. Cavs covered. Kobe White over 2.5 assists, which was a plus money play. That covered. Hornets covered. That was plus 102. Those two alone. Philly covered. Atlanta covered. Dallas covered. Yeah, OKC beat Toronto 116-107. Tennessee lost by 4, which was surprising.
Up there, Missouri.
Yeah, I called the Celtics ass whooping, 97-81, but we ended up taking Phoenix plus 5.5. Minnesota money line covered, and of course, even if all that shit would have hit, our good old faithful Lakers lose by 1 because Luka Doncic wants to fucking hesitate at the end of the game.
As soon as I pointed out that stat as Lakers as a favorite.
Yep. Did y'all watch the last play?
Yeah. Terrible.
He comes off the screen, has a wide open shot. He looked at the clock because there was 5 seconds, 4.7. And he's like, I want to kill a little bit of time. I don't want to take the shot too quick. Takes a dribble, and then they close out, and then he flicks it to LeBron. LeBron does one of those Cleveland Cavalier reverse pivot spin move into a 3-point shot and barely even hits the damn rim. Like, it can't get any worse, dude. It's like, just shoot the damn ball.
I
Not even get a
didn't
good
actually
look
watch
when
the
you were
play.
wide open is crazy.
Yeah,
So
I
you
just
didn't
saw
watch
the
it.
caption.
Yeah, it's like JJ Redick was hot.
Come on, Luka.
Yeah, he wide open, dude. Could have pulled it, and Luka was cooking, down the stretch. Was hitting everything. Like it would have had a good look. If anything, we could have got a rebound with all that time on the clock because we got the ball back. But
Yeah,
I hate that I didn't get time to do an NHL dig. I know there's not much digging to be done.
yeah, I wouldn't go crazy first game back. I don't know.
I like the Stars to win. I'm going to go ahead and drop that as an official punch as well.
I forget who they play.
They got the Kraken coming to town.
That's right.
Time to get it cracking.
That'll be a good game, but I think the Stars pulled out.
Yeah. Hey, call me crazy, but the Celtics Nuggets game.
I'm not touching the Nuggets right now. I played them versus the Clips, lost. Played them versus the Warriors live.
I'm just saying for viewership, just watching the game is going to be a good one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, that should be real good. Yeah.
Celtics are gelling, man, at the right time.
I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna hit you guys up in the chat later on tonight.
All right,
yes,
brother.
Sir. See y'all.
Go punch those tickets.
Punch tickets.